Something very interesting about Brazil is that they're much more believing people, especially in spirits. So I tend to think in the United States, we often just don't believe in evil spirits or something to the point where they don't exist because we say it's not there. And Brazilians just know that there are evil spirits around, and it almost invites more to them. And there would be some people who saw yellow eyes glowing underneath their dresser drawers, or would just shout crazy stuff. So there was often, not often, it didn't happen all that often, but every once in a while you find some just crazy person that probably had some spirits in them. I remember this old lady. She was homeless, walking down the streets, and she was just crazy. But I'm sure she was being told by something to spit on us and to beat us with sticks and chase after us in the streets, because she did. And there were several times walking to the mission office, there'd be a good 6 of us, and she'd just be behind a tree or something, and we'd walk past, and all of a sudden there's saliva all over us as she was just spitting on us. And wow, in the moment we were just taken aback, and we were just keep going, get away. We all laughed about it a ton afterwards. Beyond that, I mean, there were areas where I would smell marijuana every single day. You just walk out and kids are doing it on the street or whatever, teenagers, and it's a very different culture. There was definitely some culture shock as I was there, just trying to get used to it. And beyond that, Brazilians love their beer. And there will be often more bars than there are churches. And there are a lot of churches in Brazil. And on a typical street block, you can find 1 or 2 a lot of times. And they're not huge street blocks. There are lots of them. Bars are even more frequented, though. And often a Brazilian's idea of holiday or getting the day off from work is going to the bar, staying there all day. And you find lots of drunks in the street. I have drunks that chase after you and just say, "Mister, Mister," in a very broken American accent, and try to chase you down. There was one man, even, who met us in the bus station. We were headed home. So while I was in Brazil, there was a huge drought going on. There just wasn't any water, to the point where in my area, in the capital, in the mission office, we'd get water once every 4 days, or 2 days, and then we'd have 4 days without water, so 2 and then 4. And we would take showers, for example, with Coke bottles. On the days that we did have water, we'd fill up these 2-liter Coke bottles with water, and that's what we used to water ourselves down, soap up, and then rinse ourselves off, and that was our shower for the day. And we went to this one area far off that was having a lot of trouble. The Brazilians, just in protest for the government not helping them with their water source, or often burning buses, or just doing some crazy stuff. And we went out to buy this giant, like 3,000-liter water container for some missionaries who were needing it. And they just kept in their garage filled up so that when they did get water every month or so, they could make it last during that time period. And as we were sitting in the bus station waiting to come home, we were approached by a very drunk man. And I was sitting there and we started chatting with him. He sat down next to us waiting for the bus, and he started asking us some questions. He started telling us all about his life and how he was just in the dumps. And we said, "Look, give us your address. We'll send some missionaries to our house. They'll help you out, but you have to promise to not be drunk." And he said, okay. And the stench was just horrible too. You could smell it on his breath, and it was enough to make you vomit just about. And as he was getting up to leave, he shook our hands, or what I thought he was shaking our hands. And so he grabbed my arm, I shook his hand, and then he quickly pulled it up and kissed the back of my hand. And I was so taken aback. This drunk man had just kissed me on the back of my hand, and I had no idea what to do. And I said, "Okay, yeah, nice to see you too." And we got up and walked to a different part and just kind of skirted around the edges until he was gone.